Hey guys, I'm back with another candle review, and this time around it's for the 14.5 ounce 3-wick vintage candle from Bath & Body Works, part of the expanded collection of online exclusive men's collection fragrances. If you haven't noticed by now, online there are a number of online exclusive men's products available, such as Vintage, Graphite. I believe Ocean is also on there as well. Black Tie. I think Atlantic is supposed to surface, but it has not yet, as well as a Mahogany Teakwood in a similar packaging as well. There's also matching shower gels or fragrances in many of them as well. So they are really expanding the men's collections of fragrances, and I've actually been really getting into the men's stuff lately, so I was quite excited to try them out, and Vintage was the one new one, so I did place an online order for it, and I also did get the shower gel as a reward as well. So yes, now that I do have the candle and I have burned it a few times, I figured I'd do a review of it, and the notes on this read Blue Lavender, Fresh Pepper, and Vintage Woods. And whoa, this is so not on my alley. If I had smelled this in the store, I most certainly wouldn't have picked it up. And I most certainly wouldn't repurchase it either. This is just totally not the type of cologne fragrance that I gravitate towards. I usually love the ones that are more like fresh and clean, that have like a slight floral undertone to it, or the ones that are like kind of like sweeter and juicier, kind of like maybe like flannel or mahogany, the old mahogany woods, like the ones that have like a sweetness to it. Either of those two categories are the ones that I truly enjoy, but the ones like this, which is similar to like more like bourbon or whiskey reserve, whoa, so not on my alley. So yeah, I'm really struggling with this fragrance, but I'm burning it since I have it anyways. Obviously, it's an online exclusive, and that just comes with the territory of blind buy, so it is what it is. So what does this smell like? It smells like a musty, sour, old shaving cream fragrance, and it's the best way I can describe it. Vintage definitely seems to be an apt name for it. It's definitely very masculine. I do have to say, at least it's a little bit more unique and different, and it's not just like it's still a cologne fragrance nonetheless, but it's not like super basic. There's something a little bit more extra going on here that smells a little bit more like unique, that at least there's that, but whoa, it's just not something that I really truly enjoy. So what I get most is like a very like piquant, pungent, sour fragrance that's mixed in with like a pepperiness, and that's what I get most. And then it's mixed in with like a slight like old like sour shaving cream gone bad type of fragrance. So think of like Irish Spring type of those type of like men's classic shaving cream fragrances, but with heaps of like this pungent, sour, like piquant quality to it that I really don't know what that note is coming from, but it's in there. And then there is a slight like almost like a frosted lavender component. When I do burn this candle, a slight like Christmassy, like winteriness comes out from this. Like I could really see burning this in the fall and winter time rather than a spring summer fragrance. And there's something slightly like, I don't know, like a frosted lavender meets a like woodsy component that slightly gives me like a wintry vibe to it. I could really imagine this like in a like winter like type of label during the holiday time as a men's cologne fragrance. That's what it reminds me of, but it's kind of like this peppery, sour, piquant, pungent shaving cream smell that smells quite vintage or old fashioned. And yeah, Whiskey Reserve comes closest to mind, except Whiskey Reserve has a slight apple note that makes it a little bit more sweeter and juicy, more tolerable in my opinion, but it is kind of heavy, peppery, woodsy, but a distinct, like almost like a sauerkraut type of like sour tartness that I really don't enjoy in this. It's so strong too, that like sourness really carries forward. I think the shower gel is a little bit more toned down, that it's not quite as unpleasant when I use the shower gel, but in the candle, it's really like, it's quite intense. So that's pretty much the best way I can describe it. Other fragrances, in terms of home fragrance I can compare it to, are Black Pepper Bergamot, if anyone remembers that, has that same like type of like peppery shaving cream fragrance, is most certainly present in Black Pepper Bergamot, but that one's a little bit more subdued and a little bit more pleasant than Vintage is to my nose. And also the old fragrance that used to be called the Original in that White Barn core packaging, that also has a similar vibe to this as well. So if you enjoy Black Pepper Bergamot or the Original, this is kind of in that category. And then once again, like Whiskey Reserve is probably the closest thing I can think of in terms of recent like men's body care fragrances. So yeah, definitely like I enjoy more the things like Stone. I love Clean Slate. I like those type of more clean, fresh, uplifting, slightly like floral background type of men's fragrances, and not these sort of heavy vintage old-fashioned smelling ones. Like this is totally not on my alley, so I'm not truly enjoying this fragrance, but I'm tolerating it for the moment. So that's pretty much what the fragrance smells like. Let me go into the performance. This one has, I believe, the core wicks that mushroom on you, but it doesn't seem to be sooting too much, and it does burn quite fast and hot, so we're good to go there. As for the throw, oh my god, this is so strong. Like, I can't tolerate this after like 2 hours. I have it in my bedroom, and it's like a good, like, solid 9, I would say. It is so immensely strong, it gives me a headache. Like, I just have to blow it out after 2 hours because it's just too much. I put it in an open concept area, and it was like, like a 7 to an 8 in that range. So definitely in the solidly strong range. Whoa, it's a whole lot. So at least the version that I have was quite strong. Obviously, these are online purchases, so you can't really choose what batch you get or whatever. But the version I got is so immensely strong. It's like almost too much that it gives me a headache. So I don't foresee myself burning this one too often, but I kind of have to finish it at one point, so it'll go in my stash and maybe one day I'll get into it. But that's pretty much the performance on this. Yeah, otherwise it's burning fine, it has the core wicks, it doesn't soot too much, and it's good to go. So that's the performance on this. Overall, at least it's like a somewhat unique, and it's definitely, I feel like, a new fragrance that I haven't smelled before. So there's like a uniqueness to it that I do appreciate, that it's not just another run-of-the-mill basic cologne fragrance, but it's just not a scent profile that I enjoy. A lot of times with these men's fragrances, BBW tends to release like dupe fragrances of other like popular designer fragrances. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was a dupe of some like vintage men's cologne fragrance from like some past era. But I just do not possess the proper knowledge and information to be able to pinpoint that. But it could potentially be like an old-fashioned like colognes fragrance that's been out before. But I don't know what that is. But in any case, yeah. Oh, one and done for me. Not a repurchase. If I had smelled it in store, absolutely not. But it's here, it exists. It was an online blind buy, and here it is. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you've tried this one and what your thoughts are on it. And that's pretty much it. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.